13th February is a date proclaimed by UNESCO to celebrate radio broadcast, improve international cooperation among radio broadcasters, and encourage decision makers to create and provide access to information through radio, including community radios. The World Radio Day is celebrated annually on the 13th of February. This year's theme is Radio and Peace. As efforts to commemorate the day, Youth Media Initiative South Sudan speaks to journalists, listeners, musicians, and radio producers who find radio important to the community.
We have been, commemorating this day annually. And of course, when we were young, we used to hear about this, but of course now we are on it. And of course, the radio has been evolving from, a low level of technology, and now it's moving to an advanced technology where it's not only about radio now, but there are other components that comes as a result of this evolution that now many people benefit out of it.
I'm called Talia Fisher, aka the Big Fish. I love radio so much. First of all, one, it helps me in distribution of my music. I cannot only drop my music on YouTube, these other music platforms, but via the radios, because there are other people who are not having email address to subscribe on YouTube channel whereby they will get someone's music or videos. But via the radios, they will get to know more about someone or some other particular things.
Radio has contributed 85% to bring peace. There are some words when we speak here or when we play over the radio, it goes beyond. It reaches up to the point where no one can reach. When I ask you to shout right now and people from Jebel to hear your voice, definitely they will not hear your voice. But once it's produced and we play it over the radio, definitely everyone, wherever the radio reaches, your voice will reach there. So,
Luate Satimon is a broadcast journalist working for Advanced Youth Radio. Luate says the importance of innovation is being realized by many radio stations in the country, citing why radio stations should keep considering to be more innovative.
Yeah, I think of recent, when you look at most of the radio stations in the country, there's a lot of innovation that is popping up. Of course, people have realized that yes, there's an on-air radio where somebody can tune and listen to, but of course there are other innovations that they also come up with that can make people interested in enjoying the radio, and that's why we have online platforms that most of these radios have come up with. And of course we have people who watch these radio programs online, and of course they enjoy it so much, and likewise those who tune and they listen to as well.
The broadcast industry in the country, especially radio, is the highly preferred medium of communication because it reaches a huge number of people, but is also one of the mediums of communication that face a lot of challenges in the country. Among the challenges that many radio stations face is serious content.
There's a big challenge in terms of content creation, and that is why when you look at most of our radio stations, they are just full of music. But the content is not up to date, and this is one part that is missing in the radio, and is one of the very most important part that the radio should have taken it to capitalize on it. Content is very important. Content it's what can build up a memory. You see, this is what can build up a memory. You can make entertainments and what have you, but content can build up a memory. So coming up with the content is very, very important, but that is what most radio stations are missing doing it in their country.
I spoke to some of the musicians and listeners of radio stations in Juba to find out how content drives people's understanding and love for radio, and how radio stations can improve on their programming to improve on their content.
You can't run a program without a content. In your segments in anything that you're producing for a segment must have a content, because it will help somebody to understand, okay, it's all about this Kumbe. I am very sure that everything is possible so long as the person behind it is creative. Everything is possible.
I think one of the biggest challenge here is we lack strong institutions. Yes, we have institution that somebody can say, I'm doing mass comm, I'm doing this, but we need to have a training that someone is interested in. You cannot just be influenced because of your friends. He's a journalist, I need to go there. No, you have to be self-driven. And of course, after going to that school, you have to as well have in yourself the ability of doing something. You see this?
Radio in South Sudan contributes a lot to the promotion of local musicians. As entertainment is one of the role radio plays, many South Sudanese listen to local music through the radio stations. Here are some of the musicians who acknowledge the role of radio in the promotion of their musical career. Talia Fisher is one of the female rising South Sudanese musicians who feels radio has contributed a lot to her musical career. She shares with us how important radio has made her rise to this level that she is in right now. But Talia feels that radio stations in the country aren't enough, so there is need for more radio stations to reach to many people, especially those at the rural areas.
You see, all the music, the artists in this country, radios are the one who raised them up. Like the likes of Radio Mariah, Advance, the classic. So it's also great that it helps in distributions of our music. So why can't we not say that they are not helping? Radio has been a great impact to artists. The only thing that needs to be improved in the radio station is they should actually open for us more radio stations in this country. This is what we want. At least it will reach other villages. These radio stations are only working. Some of them are the frequency is only within Juba town. But when you go to Luri or beyond than that, you will not get it. So we all need radio station to be in every state or villages. At least people will get used to every new thing that is coming up.
The World Radio Day is celebrated under the theme Radio and Peace. For South Sudan context, a country that is longing for peace, maybe it's time for radio to be used as a tool that unites and brings people together. For Youth Media Initiative, I am Juma Law Sunday.